So that happened. Anyways, hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making others, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games, or early access for other games. So, on the last Let's Play, we went looking for food, I think, and it tasted like chalk because who knows? Well, we found it. It was like a goat cheese sandwich. And then, yeah, we were like, let's get some sleep. At which point, Carl was possessed by James Hendricks the First, I guess. And in Carl's dream, James was like, hey, you need to find something in this room. Which, when we looked about, turned out to be a letter in the chandelier-looking thing up here. You know, the chandelier. At which point, Carl grabbed it, and it burst into flames. And then a smoke monster attacked us? Or at least Chase. And then somehow Chase was pulled towards another letter and ripped it, and then smoke monster disappeared? I don't know. We were at that time, and I was like, that was a bit of a scene change right there, and it might... I'm not sure what's going to happen. Gonna have to find out. So, reset face. And begin. Then, like a massive vacuum being turned on, the smoke is sucked out of the room, along with the horrible screaming and roaring. In an instant, the room is quiet again, and I slump back to the floor, gasping for breath. Carl's right next to me, curled up in the same position that I was. Raven is whimpering, his face in his hands, and his rear in the air. Carl coughs a few times, wheezing in the air, before he looks at me and the envelope clutched in my hands. What the hell just happened? Are you okay? I can't respond. I lean back against one of the chairs tucked under the table for a moment, gathering my wits. Carl? Yeah? If that James guy tells you to do anything else, just tell me, and we'll do it. Okay. I don't know, it's like, for one thing, it kind of started the smoke monster thing, but then another, maybe it got us to get rid of the smoke monster? I don't know. Carl breathes heavily in response. Raven, are you okay? Raven sits a few feet in front of us, on his knees, tongue hanging out as he gasps. Good. You know, that's what I saw yesterday. I hope this guy survives. He just seems like a precious little boy. Maybe not precious, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I gathered that. I give a short, humorless laugh. That, and also, that I'm done asking questions. I just want to get out of here. So, since we got the letter, does that mean we can open that one door that wasn't open? Again, what's up with the upbeat music in this horrible place? After a few minutes of catching our breaths, I turn my attention back to the letter. Somehow, it's completely undamaged, despite catching on fire. It feels crisp and new, and the ink almost looks fresh. I thought we tore the letter. It definitely looks like it came from one of the bins in the crawl space. But if that were the case, then there's no way it could be in great condition it's in. The letter itself is short, and I start to read out loud. My dearest John, the militia grows more agitated by the hour, and I fear that they will demand a search of this mansion. If that does indeed occur, I will do everything in my utmost power to hold them off. I look over at Carl, wondering if he wanted to read the letter instead, but he's looking right at me. They will never find the room I've left you in. Do not fear. I'm like, wait, is he supposed to be gone, or is he supposed to be here? And Ren'Py left him in? Carl moves close to me, his hand reaching out to grab my shoulder. Carl? But if they so much as try to lay a finger on your head, it will be the last thing they ever do. Before I can even move, Carl leans in and kisses me. Oh, woo? I'm just able to get a glimpse of Raven's shocked face before I'm practically smothered by Carl's soft, warm nose and lips. Okay, we gay now. I freeze, my shoulders tensing. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, it's just that the kiss was so unwarranted. I'm not sure how long it lasts, but I never make a move to stop it. Then, Carl does finally pull back. It's awkward, and he's looking just as confused as I am. Raven sits there, openly staring at us. How do you openly stare at somebody? Like straight on? Carl lowers his ears, his nose growing pink. Can that happen? Nose? Sorry. I don't know why I just did that. Oh, it's because you're possessed or something. I'm clearing my throat, as it just did. Don't worry about it. This place is doing weird things to me, too. Wanna have an orgy? Aw, that was cute. Raven, could you help me up? I mostly ask him, so he won't dwell on what just happened. Carl clears his throat, which gives me a thing for my throat. Well, I think the door's open now. Let's go check. We make our way slowly down the hall, Raven just behind us. I lean close to Carl's ear, so the husky can't hear. So, was that really you, or did your great whatever take control again? I don't know. I think I was still in control. Just felt like the right thing to do, you know? It looked like you already knew what the letter said. Yeah. I wait for him to go on, but he doesn't. Well, what does he need his name cleared for anyway? Being gay? I don't think people care about that stuff anymore. No, we already knew. We already sort of knew that. Besides, that was basically a love letter. So, what is it that he thinks has ruined his legacy? Carl thinks. I guess the idea that he just allowed his lover to die. Oh, was that not his wife, but Jenna's great something or other? I think people believe that he sort of just left John die, didn't really try and save him. This whole mess seems like a pretty roundabout way of going about that, in my opinion, but like I said earlier, I'm done asking questions. Well, it was kinda nice. The kiss, I mean. Carl looks back at me with one green eye. Yeah? I smile a little. I guess the fact that something had been growing between us since the beginning of the week is pretty undeniable. And now we're here, in this crazy alternate dimension with smoke monsters. So, well, fuck it, I guess. I lean forward and kiss his big, soft cheek. Yeah. Carl grins and is about to say something when I catch movement out of the corner of my eye. Immediately afterwards, I hear a dull thump and Carl grunts, his eyes bulging before he crumples, sending me to the floor with him. Oh my god. I yelp as my ankle bangs against the floor and I roll onto my back, teeth grit, straining to reach down to hold my foot. Whatever just hit us is standing over me now. I raise a hand feebly to hold off the next blow. When it doesn't come, I lower it slowly and look up. Jenna? Okay. Also, reset face just in case. Jenna stands there stoically, holding what looks like a small wooden stool. Jenna, what? How'd you get here? Jenna slowly sets the stool down, slowly seeming to recognize me. I lean forward to feel my ankle, the pain radiating from it in hot pulses. Chase, are you okay? What happened to your leg? I sprained it. Hey Jenna, it's been a while. I look over at Carl, who's still curled up on his side, his arms wrapped around himself. Carl, are you okay? Then to Jenna. Did you hit him? Jenna walks past Carl and crunches down next to my leg. It looks really bad. Yeah, Carl, are you okay? Yeah. I was trying to think of a word, but it's hard to do things on the fly. Carl grunts and turns over to face us, a hand to his chest. Jenna, what the fuck was that? Jenna looks at my ankle for a while longer before standing up and looking around. When it doesn't look like she's gonna answer, Carl sits up. How did you find us here? Raven perks up. Yeah, is there a way out? Jenna finally looks down at Carl, and I note the complete lack of concern in her eyes. I came to your house looking for TJ, and ended up going to the basement. Okay, why would TJ be here? And did you guys seriously lose TJ? Because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be dead at this end of this route. Well, with Finn's obsession with him. She looks down the hall again, and ended up here somehow. I blanked out before I did. So I don't know how to get out. Carl finally stands up, wearily eyeing the stool, held loosely in Jenna's hand, before bending down to help me back up. Your leg okay? He grunts to my ear as he slides my arm over his shoulder and slowly pulls me back up on his back. Mostly. I think I kind of twisted it up again. Carl grunts again and turns back to Jenna, now with me on his back. Well, that's pretty fucked up, just to blindly swing at someone around the corner. No, what's fucked up is waking up in a place you have no memory of going to. Jenna's sharp muzzle points right at Carl, glaring. Jenna? Yeah, there's some weird echoey shit happening with her. Probably. Carl stutters for a moment, clearly not expecting to have Jenna snap back at him. Hey, it isn't my fault. I have no idea where we're at either. Why are you guys fighting? Raven looks innocently between the two of them, his ears perked. It's a good question, and I watch Jenna closely from over Carl's shoulder. She just glares at Carl, arms folded. Did she blame him for this, somehow? After a few seconds of awkward silence, Carl speaks up. Well, you hit me for one, and I don't know why you are so mad at me. Jenna looks back at Carl, and I see the tenseness in her shoulders slowly loosen. I'm sorry. I'm just a little uptight after waking up here. Hey, you're taking it better than us. Chase was freaking out for hours. I gave Raven a side glance. Well, things have been going crazy since the two of you left the lake. Like us end up in this fucking nightmare dimension? Not just that. Jenna sets a stool down on the carpet before sticking out her forearm. That's when I see the crusted blood on her fur in the form of 3 long lines. What the? TJ attacked me. What? That sentence doesn't seem to fit together. TJ attacked? Why? I have no idea. The faraway, vacant look Jenna had in her eyes earlier is fading to be replaced by a more concerned expression. I better know her for. Again, sometimes sentences. He's been losing it ever since Flynn tried to grab him at the lake. I start to feel a little sick in my stomach. Why? He wouldn't tell me. He was just acting anxious, except looking over his shoulder, or kept looking over his shoulder. But isn't he sort of like that most of the time? Jenna folds her arms and shakes her head. No, he kept looking around, kept saying he was seeing things. She stops short. Like what? Jenna looks up. Sydney. We're quiet for a while. It seems all the rumors about this town are true. Everyone's crazy. This isn't normal at all, even an echo. Jenna looks at Raven. I'm sorry, who are you? Raven grins. No, I'm sorry, I'm Raven. He sticks out his hand. Jenna looks at it before turning to me. Chase, something was going on with Leo too. He kept asking around for you. Then he ran off saying he had to take care of some things. Oh, I don't know why. I try to think of what Leo might have won from me, but I draw a blank. It could be anything. Anyway, I'd been trying to find TJ for ages. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Tried Carl's house since I'd ran out of any other options. Jenna goes quiet, then reaches into her pocket and pulls out her phone, holding it up, clearly looking for a signal. Just as I got to your house, Carl, I heard popping sounds. Jen sighs and puts her phone away again. I guess gunfire? Gunshots, I'm pretty sure, coming from the main street. Something's been happening to everyone. Jenna slides her hands into her back pockets, looking around. And now this. Wow. So, something fucked up is happening all over town. I think about Leo and TJ. My stomach twists at the thought of them being out there. I can only hope that they were able to get out somehow. And at this point, I'm just wanting to wake up. We all are. Yeah, especially after a giant smoke monster chases around the dining room. What? Jenna looks at me and Carl. Carl glances back to me as if asking me to be the one to explain the impossibility that just happened. I take a breath, trying to think of how I'm gonna say this. So, I think at this point, you're gonna have to just go with whatever this place throws at you, Jenna. Yeah, we all kind of accepted what's been happening. Well, we have to. Otherwise, it would just be us sitting and freaking out about how crazy this all is, and not doing anything about it. And so far as it seems, we've at least been moving things forward. Jenna stares at us. What happened? We all stand in front of the wooden door. In a half circle, none of us went to open it. So, this is all to clear James's name? Seems that way. But why go through all this trouble? I rest on my good foot on the carpeted floor while I lean on Carl's back. I want to give him some relief from carrying me all the time. Probably because of this smoke monster thing. It's trying to stop him. Maybe it's making all of these obstacles? Jenna had taken our whole description of what had happened in the dining room pretty well. She listened silently while I explained what had happened so far. So, I guess if we can get the story straight, maybe get out to town about what really happened, we might be able to get out of here? Jenna eyes the door. You think that there's maybe a reason why this monster doesn't want James to get his information out? We're quiet for a moment. I mean, there's a whole bunch of horrible monsters in town. Like the one that attacked Duke in one route and then attacked us to prevent us from going out of town and knocked us into the lake. The one that saved us from the big bear guy twice, 2 different routes. Nothing happened in TJ's route, really, I guess. Okay, for a moment. Well, we don't have much else to go on. Again, there's a long pause, as we all contemplate what the hell might be behind the door. That pause is broken by a certain husky, though his white hand suddenly reaches out to grasp the handle. Maybe we've already done what needs to be done. I bet this gets us home. Raven. The heavy door pulls open slowly with an unearthly squeal. Yeah. Uh-oh, didn't like that look. For a brief moment that I'm conscious, I see a black square in front of me that grows in size until it takes up my entire vision. The muscles of my back and neck seize up, and my teeth clench together as my head jerks back. And then I'm falling. There's a rhythmic throbbing in my head. It's hard to decide if it's coming from inside my head or outside. The next sense I come back to me is touch. I feel the cold, hard surface under my back. Probably would, judging by the way my claws sink into it. I shift around a little, but I don't feel like getting up just yet. The smell is musty and old. I'm reminded of my grandpa's woodshed, a place I got to go when I played hide and seek, or often go hide and seek. The drumming sound continues with rhythm. Makes me think that it's definitely coming from outside my body. It sounds tribal in a way. Where am I? On the edges of my memory are troubling images of endless halls and rooms, the smell of decay, and a noose. But I feel like if I block it out and just go back to sleep, I can erase all of it. I almost succeed, but then something brings me right out of the reverie. Carl! Chase! I grimace. The voice reminds me of something dark and cloudy. Help! It's much louder. It's yelp that follows me, rolling to my side, cracking my eyes open barely. I'm in a dark room, very dark. The only source of light coming from what looks like a candle on the bedside table. A large bed sits next to it. I'm laying near the foot of this bed. Opposite me, I can barely make out a wall, next to which is a wooden box. Help! Raven's plaintive moan forces me to my feet, my joints cracking uncomfortably. As I drag my right foot up to stand under me, a blinding pain flashes up my leg, sending bright white across my vision. I let out a muffled scream of pain behind my clenched teeth, closing my eyes as I wait for it to subside. Memories are starting to flow back to me. There's a doorway in front of me, and I start to make my way towards it, hopping slowly on my feet, left foot, holding the right off the ground. I come to a small hallway, one that branches to my left into a corridor of darkness. Right in front of me, however, is a set of stairs. Light glows from the bottom, and I'm pretty sure that's where Raven's voice is coming from. In fact, I'm pretty sure I hear other voices coming from there as well. I look down my ankle, wincing, as I see that it's gotten even bigger, more than twice its original size. Wasn't it already twice its original size before? I'm starting to think it's more than a sprain. I think he already said that, didn't he? As I make my way down the stairs, cringing with every light hop, my stomach starts to sink. I remember now the weird mansion that we were just in, the doors and hallways, and the smoke monster. And the door we were just through. Whatever's happening to us isn't over yet. When we reach the bottom of the stairs, I find Jenna and Carl standing around a tall, brown wardrobe. As I stand there, breathing heavily, Carl turns to see me. Chase! He immediately rushes to my side, his hooves clopping loudly against the wooden floor. I think he's simply coming over to support me, but he wraps me up in a hug. God, I keep worrying that one of us is going to disappear. I'm glad you're here. What about, Raven? Yeah, I'm fine. I was upstairs in a bedroom, I think. The anxiety I'm feeling over the whole situation goes away, just a little, absorbed into the soft warmth of Carl's body. Over Carl's shoulder, I can see Jenna watching us, her eyes narrows, expression dark. I'm about to ask her what's wrong, when I hear a loud bang from inside the wardrobe. Guys, are you still there? I think something touched me. Jenna turns back to the wardrobe, silent for a moment, then bends down to look at something. Guys? I hear a metallic click. Then Jenna jumps back as one of the doors swing open, and a black and white blur falls out like a rock. Oh, good. Raven's face plants nearly into the wooden floor. He stays there for a moment, moaning into the planks, before Jenna bends over to help him up. Are you alright? Yeah. I just felt like something grabbed me. I looked back up into the wardrobe to find a very bare and empty wooden compartment. I'm inclined to believe him, though, after everything that's happened. Where are we? That's a good question now. With the excitement over, I take the opportunity to look around as well. Everything's wooden. The walls, floor, ceiling. There's a large rug on the floor, covered in colorful patterns and shapes. It reminds me of the art projects we'd do in elementary school when learning about the natives. There's a big stone fireplace with 2 rug-covered chairs in front of it. Rug? Rug. Jenna gingerly shuts the wardrobe. So, a log cabin. Does everyone remember where we were before? Yeah, that mansion place. So, we're still stuck in this dimension thing? Or dimension thing. I sigh, rub my face with one hand, while I lean against Carl with the other. I had long ago given up on trying to figure out exactly what the hell is going on. Like Carl said earlier, we just have to keep moving and hope we get out of here. What was that sound? Just taking a look at the time. The drumming that I had thought was coming from within my head started up again. Drums? Lasky moves forward to the wall, which consists of several logs stacked horizontally on top of each other. I can't see anything. The cracks are filled with stuff. I look around again, this time more carefully. Right in front of me is a large log door, not unlike the one we initially came through. On my left side, separated by the stairs, is what looks like a kitchen side of the room. In it, there's a small table with 2 chairs on either side. There's also a big black wood-burning stove next to a few shelves, which are full of pots and pans. Various tools and furniture clutter up the rooms. And there's a window. I point out to Carl. Look, let's see if we can see out through there. Carl puts me into a familiar position on his back, before clopping over to the window, the sound a bit louder with the added weight. Jen and Raven follow behind. There's a ledge next to the window, thankfully, and Carl lets me sit on it. I turn to look out the window while the others crowd around me, resting their hands on the wooden bench. Can I hear anything? Okay, I have to turn off my mic to actually hear that. The first thing I notice is a flickering light in the distance, about 100 yards away. It casts out across the ground around it. Shadows from rocks and bushes dance about with the movement of illumination. It's definitely a fire, a large one, probably a bonfire. The blackness around the fire is unnatural, though, just like what I saw through the window in this mansion. It's inky and thick, and has the oppressive air of almost being alive. No other light comes from what I presume to be the sky, that fire being the only signal that anything exists outside the cabin. A fire. Raven says redundantly, the drumming, it's coming from it. Carl reaches out. His hand looks to immediately press against something. I reach out too and feel the solid, flat surface where a pane of glass might be set up. But it's clear there's nothing visible there. Well, I mean, I don't know. Observe, accept, move on. Hey, look. I look up at the time to see something dark flash across the fire. Oh wait, I look up in time. It disappears into the darkness to the right of the flame, though. What was that? Maybe it was tumbleweed or something? No, it was jumping, whatever it was. I feel a prickling along my neck, and now I'm not really into the idea of just staring out into the darkness. But then it happens again. I see what Jenna's saying. The dark shape starts at the left side of the fire before passing in front of it. I get a brief impression of a tail and ears, legs and arms, pumping as if jogging in place. It moves past the flames, then disappears into the darkness again. Something's out there. We continue to watch, but the drumbeat dies down, and after about a minute, it's clear nothing's moving around out there anymore. What was that? Well, I feel like this could be a scene change before something dramatic happens. Which means, unfortunately for you guys, we're going to have to call it. Boop. That's going to be the end of this Let's Play. Oh, whoa. So, please comment, cause I like comments, something you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the grow. Please remember to spay near your animal to control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making others, you can go to their Patreon, which is $3 a month. And until next time, let's meet me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. So thanks and see ya.